What is up, guys? So, Henry Cejudo, the savior of the flyweights, is back for one last hurrah. Now, yeah, he lost to Aljo, title holder at the time. Then he lost to Merab, the guy who currently holds the title. In fact, when he signed up to fight Merab, I thought something. This guy wants to earn his way back to a title shot. He's willing to take the hardest fight. He's not trying to sleep on Merab. He wasn't really trying to sleep on anyone. I think Merab was just better than him because Cejudo got a little bit older over his retirement. And, you know, he might have taken a lot of time off and avoided a lot of damage. But still, you age. Your body doesn't do what it wants to do. And years of freestyle wrestling has a lot of wear and tear on your body. So eventually it happens. And now he's coming back against a very winnable fight in Song Yadong. Song Yadong is not necessarily known for his wrestling, but if you watch Yan versus Yadong, right? Song and Yan, when they fought, it just seemed like he could hang in there on the ground. And I know that there's a little bit of a size difference with Henry. Henry's a little shorter. So obviously it's going to be a big what if with this fight too. Now, obviously, if I had to pick, Henry Cejudo is still my favorite. I just think he's got a good skill set. He might be losing a couple miles right now, but he could potentially shock us all. Now, if I'm wrong and the underdog Song, in my mind, beats Henry Cejudo, then yeah, it's over. But let's say Henry Cejudo wins, right? What would be next for Henry Cejudo if the best case scenario happens for Henry Cejudo? Definitely not a title fight. I think those things are a thing in the past for Henry. Now, he's obviously going to fight near the top, but if he really wanted to, I was thinking, maybe TJ Dillashaw comes out of retirement. But based on how TJ Dillashaw reached out to Dominic Cruz after his career-ending injury of retirement, right? I think it's safe to say that TJ knows. I don't think he's going to be taking the EPO route to get back in. He's not going to be taking the EPO route to get back into the rankings anytime soon. I think, honestly, it's safe to say that TJ Dillashaw is he's finished with the sport. He's been getting hurt a lot ever since his return. It's just not for him anymore. So even though I would like to see them run it back potentially at bantamweight, you would have to jump through a lot of hoops and you'd have to put TJ through even more stuff. Now, I think a lot of people dislike TJ way more than they dislike Henry Cejudo, so I think a lot of people would champion that, unfortunately. No offense, TJ Dillashaw. If you ever see me on the street, please don't unalive me. But, if Henry Cejudo wants to come back, the most marketable fight for him for at least a better payday would probably be like a fight night main event against Brandon Moreno, who's currently going for Steven Erceg, because Steven Erceg is using Moreno to get into a title picture, which is good for Steven Erceg. Steven Erceg's taken a page out of Henry Cejudo's book, taking on the toughest guy. That is a favorable matchup in a lot of ways for him, and we'll see where that goes for him. But, Moreno doesn't have to beat Erceg to fight Henry. In fact, honestly, even if Moreno lost to Erceg, he could still move up to bantamweight and face Henry. Because before either of those guys hang up their gloves, that is a fight that we do have to see. We really do have to see that at 135. Both guys don't cut as much weight. They're a little bit getting older. Now, Brennan not as much, but he's still going there. Honestly, Henry's, seriously the older of the fighters. But it would be a good one to just squash the beef. I know Henry sent Amir Albazi, Davidson Figueiredo, Pantoja. A lot of guys have trained under Henry while preparing for Brandon Moreno. And now Brandon Moreno is saying, okay, no one's left to get in between us. Now you get a crack at me. And honestly, I don't know where that fight goes. But I think it is definitely one of the best fights you can make for the smaller divisions right now that has a deep, authentic story arc to it. Not forced like Jones versus Stipe, but it's something that has been there and has had a lot of chapters to it, and I think it's time it enters its final chapter. But that's if Henry Cejudo beats Song Yadong. So let's not face more than one step ahead. Henry's obviously focused on the guy in front of him like he always does. And you know what? I think I'm rocking Team Triple C, Team King of Cringe, Team The Messenger for now, because I do want to see him get his hand raised again. I do want to see his Octagon interview, and I do want to see him versus Moreno really bad. But that's what I got to say. Peace out, and happy hunting. Cheers.